What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Mac.
Wrist breathing, fourth form, unlimited bitches. It's good, y'all. It's your boy Curtis.
And today we'll be talking about Demon Slayer.
I'm sorry. Well, yep, that's Demon Slayer. One of the hottest shows out right now. Last season just concluded about a few weeks ago. Was it a few weeks now? Or has it been a month?
Probably a month since the summer season shows are, the fall season shows are airing. Is it summer? Summer season shows.
But yes, we are going to be talking about Demon Slayer. If you enjoyed this, make sure you leave a like and comment your own thoughts on Demon Slayer, aka one of the top animes out right now.
The most popular animes out. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, do all that stuff. If you're watching this or listening to this on like Spotify or some other platform, yeah, be sure to hit us up on the social medias at Black Heroes 5. That's Twitter, Instagram. We got a TikTok now, right?
Yes, made it last month.
Yeah.
I'll put everything in the description.
But yeah, so Demon Slayer, the hot commodity, hasn't I guess you could say it really hasn't lost steam since it started back in 2019.
Yeah, like honestly, since it came out, it really has been a juggernaut. Like it's been getting popular like more and more as time goes on. Now I remember what you said, or earlier, like when I said, one of the top animes, you got hesitant and you said popular. So I guess you don't think it's necessarily a top show, but a super popular show.
I mean, yeah, I think Demon Slayer is I say easy to digest show. I can say something nicer. That just feels. Just like, does it make you sick? No, I just eat it because I can't.
You know what? I'll start. I'll say something nice about the show. Now with Demon Slayer, is it my favorite shonen? No, but I have all the respect in the world for Demon Slayer. What it's accomplished. I put Demon Slayer in the same category as an Attack on Titan or One Punch Man, where it's a show that brings eyes to the community. Like it has brought so many people into liking anime, and I respect it for that. And is it the most crazy or the best story in the shonen genre? No, but I do think it is good. It leaves you on the edge of your seat. It has great action, amazing characters, a pretty good main protagonist. I know Tanjiro gets a little bit of hate, but I like Tanjiro. He's actually one of the most purest protagonists we have.
What do you mean by purist? I don't think we have any protagonists in the shonen genre that are like corrupt.
Well, I mean, I guess it's because of that scene during the Mugen Train arc when they saw Tanjiro's soul, and I can't lie to you, man. That shit was beautiful. It was so beautiful. So don't get me wrong, like most shonen protagonists, they are good and they are pure, but like I never got to see the like physical embodiment of pure that level until I saw that scene with Tanjiro.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure if you look into Deku's soul, aside from some titties, you're gonna see a. He be looking out for those things, man. You'll see a shining light behind the nipple, but
But yeah, I mean, about anything nice to say about Demon Slayer?
No, I think when it comes, I mean, if it was Asta Soul, you would just see a picture of Sister Lily and her shining like she's God. So,
and then her magic hitting him in the face.
Some people like stuff like that, but yeah, when it comes to Demon Slayer, man, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just an easy show to watch. It looks good. The fights are, entertaining and very, and the way it's animated is very nicely stuff too. So I don't know. It's just for me when it comes down to Demon Slayer. Like for someone like me who's digested so many different animes and seen so many different things tackled from so many different angles, it's it's just, like, it's like one of those run-of-the-mill shows. It just has really great animation due to the studio that I picked it up. So, when I read it and when I finished it, I was just sitting there, and understandable reasons when it comes to like how it was finished. We'll talk about that later. Not spoiling anything, but just talking about like just how the ending goes. I was just kind of like, yeah, well, wow, look at all those plot points that weren't talked about.
So you telling me like at the very first episode, like you wasn't on the edge of your seat, like you didn't like feel it? Because to me, like the first episode, like when we ever do a discussion like best first episodes of anime, I could easily throw Demon Slayer in there. Like Demon Slayer has one of the best like beginnings of a show. I think so.
Dude, I watched Berserk. It's not really gonna faze me.
God, you need some crazy stuff for you to feel.
I'm just saying, bro. You tell them after watching, bro. If you watch The Eclipse, not to see in a room full of 5 dead people is like, oh no, So.
Okay, little side note, because I've heard about The Eclipse scenes like a bunch of times. Is it really that bad? Like on a scale of 1 to 10? It's like a 9.5.
I would legit tell you don't watch that at night.
Shit, that bad?
I'll tell you, watch it with a Bible in your hand.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
And that's watching it. Reading it is actually worse. You want to talk about gruesome? Yeah, well, I watched it first and I read it and I was like, this is like 5 times worse than what they could have captured in the anime. So yes.
Oh my god. Well, you know what? That's a story for another day. Just to get back on topic, I have a question for you before we get deep into it. Who is your favorite character in the show, and who is your least favorite character in the show?
My favorite character is Tengen. Least favorite character? Huh. Maybe Zenitsu?
Okay. Because for me, my favorite character is Shinobu, which, love her. And my least favorite character actually was Zenitsu for season 1. Zenitsu season 1 was so annoying. Like, and don't get me wrong, I still love the sub over the dub, but God, his voice in Japanese was grating to me.
The dub
it was really bad.
But
now I think it's Inosuke. I think like they swap places now that Zenitsu has actually calmed down a little bit, and there's a reason why I can start to dislike Zenitsu. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I don't know. It's just he's starting to just kind of annoy me a little bit, kind of like Zenitsu did in season 1.
I mean, I can say that, but I saw people hating on Zenitsu. I was just like, well, that's Zenitsu is just there. Zenitsu is there so people can like Inosuke. Because if Zenitsu wasn't there, I'm pretty sure Inosuke would be the character people just didn't like.
He did his best. He did his best, but
I don't know. I mean, I've seen some people say they don't really care for Tanjiro. I mean, my sister hates Tanjiro, but I really don't see how you could like hate Tanjiro. It's like unless you hate like a good person. I know some people get tired of the
Deku
whole
too, so like
people will joke about like, oh well, this poor demon. I wonder what his backstory is. Let me sniff it.
That's kind of like what happens.
Actually, it's not.
Sniff the trauma.
He can't sniff the backstory, so he just sniffs the emotions. Which I don't know if that makes it worse or better. Because it's like he sniffs the regret, and then he's like, he feels bad.
I mean, like, I don't know, that could be worse. Because, like, if someone called you a bitch, and you can actually, like, smell that, too. I feel like it'll be worse.
So, I don't know. It's funny. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, to explain why I like Tengen so much, though, it's, Tengen to me felt like what they should have did with Rengoku, and honestly, we'll talk about that later. But, it's like, you show this guy who seems overly obnoxious and overly self-absorbed, but then as the story goes on, you see just how much he puts people over himself. Like, you would think, like, wow, this guy might be a horrible demon slayer. He's rude, obnoxious, he doesn't care about people, blah blah blah. But then actually turns out, no, actually he cares about people. He values saving people. He came from this background where he was raised to just be heartless, but because he was kind, he was able to he was given an out with the Demon Slayer Corps. So it's like, even though he doesn't have a tragic backstory, it still is an interesting backstory for his character to see, like, he's prideful, but he's also humble at the same time.
Okay. No, I definitely feel that. Like, Tengen actually was a really fun character, and you got to see more of him too. You got to see that deeper, connection with them, I guess. I'm trying to word it. What's the best way to word it? You got to look deeper in, like, who he actually was. Like you say, he was like this on the outside kind of obnoxious, but on the inside, like, it was a lot of deeper character there. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I also like, as my favorite is Shinobu. Shinobu, where she first debuts, she's kind of like, that little playful, almost like the Catwoman to Giyu's Batman. But then when you find out of her backstory and see what happens to her and how much she actually hates the demons, like, Tanjiro smelled the hatred on her.
I wonder what that smells like.
I think they're spicy. Like spicy Mexican.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see someone that, like, looks so, like, innocent on the outside, but on the inside, borderline, like, Sasuke level of hatred. Probably worse. I think probably worse. Yeah, probably worse. But understandable hatred too.
I mean, Shinobu would have been a good character, but it's, and I guess we can start this off with, like, dislikes for the series. But it's like, when it comes down to Demon Slayer, they do have an interesting cast, so it's an easy to like cast. Well, aside from some exceptions, but they're easy to like. But then when you actually look at the characters and the characterization, it's not much throughout the story. Like, seeing Shinobu's background or backstory is interesting, but then seeing where she was supposed to go from there, you don't have that visual, and a similar thing for Rengoku. Rengoku should have been a fantastic character, and for the most part he's just cool. It's like, oh, if somebody told me Rengoku was their favorite character, I'd be like, you must really be the cheapest date ever. Like 45 minutes,
low hanging fruit.
45 minutes and somebody got the draws. Like, you gotta be the easiest date. Like,
wow. So you heard it here. Mike thinks all Goku fans are just thoughts.
Man or woman, gender equality over here too. But you know what I mean? Like, because that's what it is. It's like, okay, we got a quick sample. All right, cool. Let's get some more. Oh, he died. Well, okay. He was cool while he was here.
Now,
like, Rengoku, he should not have been a shock value death.
Now, like, I agree. And, I like Rengoku. I kind of didn't want him to die. At first, I did understand why they did it. But then when you see what happened to Tengen, and I was like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here.
I saw reverse order. How do you go from dead, crippled, perfectly fine? How does that work?
Yeah, I feel like the order could have been, shifted up just a bit. Just tweak it a bit.
Because if I'm being honest, Rengoku would have been fine to have Rengoku make it out of that arc. You know what I mean? Because, like, Tanjiro and Inosuke were impressive enough taking on Demon Moon 1 and Tanjiro having to have the balls to pretty much kill himself in his dream.
Multiple times.
Yeah, and then one time he was about to get tricked into doing it, but Inosuke saved him. So that was impressive. And they got a dub over a lower moon, which would have made them pillar level, technically. Because if you kill a lower moon, you get to become a pillar.
Well, wait, is it lower? So it is lower moon. So it is any of the 12, pretty much.
They can't kill an upper moon, so obviously.
I used to think they had to kill an upper moon to automatically become one. I think you have to do it by yourself.
I'm not sure if you have to do it by. Because Rengoku actually becomes a pillar by killing a lower moon, but he had a squad with him that was fighting the lower moon, but he gave the final blow. So technically, it would have went to either Inosuke or Tanjiro.
See, my thing though with Rengoku's death is that it was cool only because you got to see like the power of the upper moons, but it would have been, made more sense if they kind of built up Akaza showing up. Because to me, I don't know about you, he just kind of just popped up out of nowhere and I'm here to fight. And when he popped up, I feel like Rengoku's not winning. he can't win this.
For me, the issue I have is it feels like that was a move to save an arc that didn't need saving. Like that arc,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe I need to add a little something. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm cooking a pretty good meal. Let me add a little something. Try to make it perfect. But then it's just like, oh great, you added paprika, and now this meal sucks. Because you gotta remember. Because be honest.
So what?
Go ahead. What's the question?
Well, I was gonna say for you, like you would have been cool with this fight and everything playing out exactly as it is. It was kind of like pushed back later.
Yeah, because think about it. Like if you have Tanjiro and Inosuke dealing with lower moon 1, who wasn't even supposed to be lower moon 1, he just got made it because everybody else died. And then you hear from Zenitsu afterwards, like, guys, me and Nezuko were handling one train by ourselves, but Rengoku was handling this 5 or so trains all at once. Like, you would still be impressed. Train cars. I said that incorrectly. But yeah, like, because you tell me that somebody was able to use regular sword swings to keep train cars intact and to keep the people safe in the train cars, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's impressive. And he didn't kill nobody accidentally. That is impressive. It's like flame breathing form 2, collateral damage. Oh no.
Alright, I'm gonna build on that in just a second, but I want to go ahead and just say my quick dislike, because you already know how much I dislike this. You brought up regular sword swings. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just die on this hill. The effects are real. I hate the fact that the creators said the effects are not real. They are real. Like, it doesn't make sense for them to not be real.
I still don't get this. Why am I the only person?
Like Mitro. Bro, Mitro really did hit Miss Jutsu in season 3.
I was about to say, I'm gonna need you to say that again, because you kind of just like your anger got to you and you started talking like Muzan.
That's what it upsets me so much. No, I'm just saying, like, in season 3, like, the man did a legit hit and miss jutsu. Like, the miss was there.
It was not.
Oh, we going back to season 1, like when Tanjiro was fighting the arrow and the volleyball demon, and he was blocking the shit with water.
Okay, but afterwards, what was wet?
Bruh. Black Clover, they use fucking magic to produce elements.
You know why?
Tell
Because
me
it's
they can't do something
magic.
similar.
You know why
And that's
Zabuza
what-
did the water style jutsu? Because he had chakra. You know why there could be water coming out of a Zanpakuto toe? Because there is spirit energy. Wow. I wonder what demon slayers use. The power of oxygen.
Hey, I mean, bro, this is anime. You can literally do whatever you want.
You want me to call Neil deGrasse Tyson? So you can be, well, you know, in anime, when somebody uses oxygen, oxygen is a part of water. So,
We've
in this
seen shows
anime,
where there's supposedly regular people that's
in
punch
this
somebody
anime,
and they go flying. You mean tell me they can't?
but where are they supposed to
so
be?
hard to believe
And
that
like
breathing
I always ask you,
powers.
Curtis, for the breath of love, what special effects do you want to come out of Mitsuri's sword? Pun intended.
Bro, the love breathing is like a byproduct of flame breathing.
So what, you
stated
wanted to
that.
have the power of STDs? First
Oh
form,
my God,
AIDS.
no. First of all,
I'm
first of
burning.
all, don't do that. Don't do that to her. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to her. Don't do
Oh my
do that,
gosh.
because I still,
She cut my arm, but then my balls on fire. Like, that's what you want?
bruh, it was so funny when she got called a tramp. Her reaction to that.
Yeah, so to talk about an actual dislike I have of the series.
Oh,
another one.
don't. My shit is valid.
You already own it. Whatever. So I actually feel like
Go ahead.
when it comes to Demon Slayer, a lot of character writing honestly kind of gets thrown out the window too, because it's like, for example, Curtis, who do you think Shinobu is closest to?
Giyu,
Wrong.
right? Wait, what?
She's closest to Gyome, Himejima, the Stone Pillar.
Okay, granted, since anime only, maybe you haven't gotten there yet.
Nope, it's not there at all. They do not They do not talk to each other. All right, fine then. Here's another one. Who do you think Rengoku would have been closest to? Or who do you think Rengoku knew the longest out of all the pillars?
Ooh. I can see him just being cool with everyone. So it's just like, that one's hard.
He's known Mitsuri the longest.
She did, make a little face when she got the news about him.
Okay, when did they talk to each other? When did Shinobu and Gyome talk to each other?
Wait a minute. I remember this now, because isn't that from a light novel?
It's still canon to the story. It's the
But
side stories
was that
are
light novel
canon.
made afterwards?
No.
Did they have
they're
time to
in the
put the light
series.
novel in?
Nah, well, I think only one of them was made after the series ends, but for the most part, all the light novels are made during the series.
Okay, well, let me think. All right, when they adapt this into anime, do most shows incorporate light novels into their work?
Some of them can. Like Black Clover's done it a couple times. I know that My Hero did one of the side stories in an OVA thing, and it's not just about the light novels being adapted into the animes. It's the fact they are a part of the story. Like it can help give more insight into something. For example, like the light novel for the Itachi story, that is seeing Itachi going through his life, but you're not going to go through and be like, oh, Itachi's in a leaf village, I wonder who knows him. And then it's just like, nobody knows Itachi. Wait, Kakashi knew Itachi. So, but I was like, wait, how did you know Kakashi knew Itachi? Through the light novel, but they didn't talk in the main series. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like at that point, that is a bit unfair. Like, oh, they didn't incorporate this light novel. even though it's supposed to be canon.
It's not incorporating the light novel. It's just incorporating the things of the character. Like, these are your characters. If you wanted Mitsuri and Rengoku to know each other for the longest, why don't you just have Rengoku and Mitsuri know each other? Like, why don't you have them talk to each other? And it's not like a thing of like Mitsuri just saw Rengoku while she was training for flame breathing. No, he trained her. That is his student. And he helped her learn how to be a better fighter. She was there when he became a pillar. She cried when he became a pillar. But when he died as a pillar, she was just like, oh no.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like out of everyone, I feel like Snake Boy had the best reaction to the news.
Yeah, so... And that's what I'm saying. It's like...
I wonder...
Go ahead.
Up again. I wonder, do they... I wonder... I need to go back and look at the season again. I wonder, did she actually have a moment where she thought of Rengoku? I think she did.
She did not. I need to go
back and look at it again. She didn't.
I just reread that whole part, bro. Like, no, she does not.
No, but I'm talking about the show. I mean, like,
my sister watched the anime, and I told her that, and she was like, "So why did she never mention him?" I was like, "I don't know."
Oh, okay, never mind. Then I was hoping
she knows Rengoku and his little brother. So you telling me she never thought to go visit the little brother neither?
Well, I guess this also kind of plays into another one of my dislikes is the pacing of the show. I feel like the pacing is just so fast. Like from season 2 to season 3, like we just got this epic battle with Upper Moon 6, well, 2 of them, and like right at the start we got Upper Moon 5 and 4 to deal with automatically. There was no downtime, and I feel like that's what this show needed. Will some fans be upset by that? Maybe, but I feel like the show could have used a bit more of a break. Maybe stop some stuff happening, but just a little bit of a break to really just kind of like hang with the characters, let the characters kind of like, you know, gel for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everybody could, and I mean that's more so a thing for this current generation of anime, you know. And when I say current generation, I mean like starting from, you know, like My Hero and going forward. You know, it's like it's not too many series that actually, and My Hero does it. Well, they used to do it, now they kind of don't do it. It's understandable why, but you know, it's like it's a thing of something always got to be popping off in the series. You can't really have too many episodes or chapters where people are just relaxing, because even and when it comes to Demon Slayer, I don't like saying that it's carried by animation, but for the most part people really just be talking about the fights, and there are definitely more things you can talk about when it comes to characters. But it's like even this past season with season 3, people talked about Mitsuri's titties in the beginning, they talked about Togito's introduction, then it kind of went silent until the fight started popping off, which was like what, 2-3 episodes later after they meet Tokito, or yeah, 2 episodes after they meet Tokito. And then, you know, it was the whole joke about the Genya meme of he uses American breathing or Second Amendment breathing or something like that.
Oh man, that was a fun time.
Yeah, that was fun. I'll admit that was fun.
Okay, well, I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I feel like people did talk about more than that. Like, I know I saw people really discuss like the backstories of everyone, and just how like honestly tragic all of them were. Well, Mitsuri wasn't all that tragic, but it was still, I guess, sad-ish.
Mitsuri is high school girl.
Ish. There
like, nobody wanted to take you to prom.
Like,
oh.
Like diet tragic, I guess. Her backstory is a diet Dr. Pepper of tragic backstories.
Tokito's backstory was Tanjiro's without genetics. No, with genetics added in.
Like I felt so bad when I watched it. Oh man, I was like really sad.
I was just sitting there, I was just like, man, Tanjiro, if only you had these genetics, you would have kicked Giyu's ass.
But it was still sad. Like, he literally like held on to his brother long after he died. Like, I thought about that. I'm like, dang, how long did he lay there? Had been a good little minute. He was on death's door. Like, oh, it's fucked up.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just, when it comes to a lot of the characterization, it's like, because it's like Tokizo has this PTSD, and he has the mental lapse for so long. The Tanjiro comes through and says 2 words, and I was like, I can see clearly now. My brain is clear.
I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my hero, my boy Todoroki, he saw the light when Deku was like, it's your quirk, not his. And that one sentence changed the game.
Nah, it took a while, but it still took some things to get Todoroki right. I started it, but Todoroki was still just like, oh shit, you about to punch me. Let me.
Granddad was still in the middle of a fight, but
yeah, so it took some time.
He did say thank you before almost killing him.
And then for Genya, it was just like, I'm yelling at you. Now I'm looking at you. Now I think I'm friends with you. It's like, peer into my eyes. We are friends now.
I mean, that's the one thing I will say I really like about Demon Slayer. Even though, like, more could have been done with the characters. The characters themselves are actually, like, really cool. Really, like, different personalities. And seeing them be able to kind of, like, interact from time to time. When they do interact, it's always fun to see.
I mean, and that's what I said. The cast is nice. So I feel like if Demon Slayer would have been... I feel like if Demon Slayer would have been a properly paced show, and if it wasn't, if it wasn't rushed to end so quickly, there's a lot of things that would have actually been really good to see instead of just learning about after the fact, because it's like when it comes to the ending, it's like all these plot points that either get just shown and there's no build up to it. It's just kind of like, oh, look, you gave me this cake. Let me cut into this cake. Oh, it's a paper mache. You son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where's my filling? Where's my ingredients? Like, okay, this picture is cool, but I want my food.
Okay, and I will just go ahead and say, like, I do appreciate that, you haven't really spoiled too much to me about the end. Like, I know the end, but I just don't know how we get there. So I appreciate you not, like, saying anything. Yeah. And I do hope that, like, even though they haven't done it yet, I'm still holding a bit of hope that they just add a bit more. They can do it. They literally can add more.
Nah, bro. Like, things. The only thing they added with the Swordsmith Village arc is a little bit of extra titty jiggle for Mitsuri.
Oh my god,
that's it. They changed that. I saw that scene at least. I saw that scene where Mitsuri was running out to Tanjiro, and he grabbed that shirt and put them titties up.
Oh my god,
that wasn't in the manga. So there you go. Maybe we'll actually see if Shinobu got it popping or not. Maybe that's what they'll.
Oh my god, could you imagine? Like, every one of my characters. Oh, here's some more boobs. They've squeezed a beach scene in there somehow.
Like, I want to see more character from Shinobu. Well, you can see more character model from Shinobu.
Oh my god! But also, I just want to also point out one thing I also like is, me, I'm a sucker for a good villain, and don't get me wrong, I like my villains to be like have more character to them. But every now and then, it's just nice to have a villain that is just evil. And Muzan is just evil, and I love it. He's a smooth criminal that is evil.
Yeah, that's all what you did there. Good job. Good job. Yeah, I hope you're leaning forward right now.
I just like it's been a while since we've seen an anime villain that is just evil incarnate. Like, he just doesn't care about friends, foes, nobody but himself.
In a while? I won't say a while. It's like we see something.
For you probably like seen like something recently, but for me, it's been a while since I've seen the pure evil like main antagonist, like the main antagonist. Like, this is like the only villains I can think of that's like pure evil as the main antagonist would be like Kid Buu. Kid Buu was this black Air Force energy in bubblegum.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to the villains, like I appreciate. I mean, we can all agree Up Moon 4 and 5 were just kind of whatever. Like 5 had a better showing. Like people would try to say like, no, I'm sorry, 4 had a better showing. But if you ask me which one is actually better between 5 or 4, the only reason I can say 4 is because he had more screen time.
I mean, with 4, honestly, like in a way they survived him. Like Mitsuri was about to die.
I mean, Mitsuri survived though. Tanjiro still like took care of him, but
if it was only a couple seconds off, oof, he would have came back to dead Hashira.
That's what I'm saying though. It's just like like Akaza's show, and like I know I was talking about how I wanted Rengoku to survive, whatever, but Akaza's showing was pretty cool. And stuff we get later on from him is whatever. It's really good. For Doma, I don't know. I saw people try to put Doma. Like Doma's very charismatic. That's obvious. Like he's fun. But when people try to like throw all this characterization on Doma, I'm like, where y'all getting all this shit from?
Hey, you don't like look in the deeper meanings of these characters.
I read the same thing, and you know me, I get deep with my stories. So I don't do no skim reading. So I was just sitting here like, y'all going kind of hard for this guy.
Oh man, Mike. And here I thought you only got deep with Black Clover. Kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Kokoshibo definitely is a good villain. I still think he was probably set to be the main villain. Things just didn't work out like it was supposed to. But yeah, so it's like I never had an issue with people saying like, oh well, I'm tired of these demon backstories. It's like, well, they were humans too, so you would think they should have a backstory. See,
I'm trying to remember. There was one line that Akaza said in his fight with Rengoku that, like, instantly kind of made him a villain. Like I wanted to like see more of. I'm trying to remember the exact line. They was clashing, and he said it so smooth. This is one like the few times I do like the dub. He was like, "While you're young and strong, your life will be cut short." And the way he said it, I was like, "Oh." For a split second, I was like, okay, I'm on Team Demons, but I snapped back to reality. I'm like, nah, man, I gotta stay loyal to my...
Actually, Augustus English voice actor is actually pretty good. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to the story, it's like so many different things that when you look at it, and this is why I feel like for a casual fan, it's great. But then for me, I'm just like, hold up now. Because we might actually have to investigate which one is worse, the Demon Slayer Corps or the Survey Corps. Because
you said Demon Slayer Corps, right? Between the two of them.
Bruh, I'm just saying, dog. The only reason the Demon Slayer Corps gets away with all this shit is just because there ain't no parents to put in no grievances. It's like, oh no, did they die? Well, at least they can join their family now. Like, you know what I mean? So, because think about it, bro. Think about how nonsensical. Like, think about to the Mountain Arc, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've lost 50 Demon Slayers before we got there. We get there, they lose probably about another 20 or 30. We about to lose Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu. But thankfully, Giyu and Shinobu show up in time.
Jesus. I think one of the main reasons why the Survey Corps is better than the Demon Slayer Corps is because Demon Slayer is like, they didn't have an Irvin. Like, they didn't have that epic speech. I still remember season 3, the epic speech with when he said, literally, like, convinced all of them to run to their deaths. They never had that in Demon Slayer Corps. They never had that epic speech, like, okay, our deaths will mean something at least. They never had that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but just the idea of, let's actually look at what do you have to do to become a Demon Slayer? Okay, so you meet a cultivator or you meet a teacher. You train with that teacher. You don't fight any demons. but you train with the teacher. Then you go and fight demons. And you have to survive demons for a week. Do you have to kill demons? No. Just survive for a week.
Wait, it's a week? I thought it was 3 days.
Nah, I think it's a week.
Oh, shit.
And then boom, you're a demon slayer. So it's like,
oh my god, that's even worse.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that. All right, you remember when Tanjiro took that test? It was like 14 kids there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went down to 4. Technically 5. First of all, how did Genya survive that test? I just thought about that.
How does Zenitsu survive that test?
I just thought about, you know how trash you gotta be to die in a test that a nigga that can't use breathing style survive.
Yeah, 'cause he didn't have his gun at that point, right?
No. So you telling me
maybe
you could? That's what I'm saying though. But it's like, how much sense does that make? All right, are we gonna make sure these guys go and fight demons? Nah, just teach them the breathing style. But what about overcoming their fear of demons? Nah, that'd be good.
Wait, are you sure it was a week? Because a week seems a bit excessive.
No, I'm pretty sure.
A bit excessive.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a week.
Like, that's a lot to do. How do they sleep?
Dude, you had to survive 3 days or a week. That's in that time period when there ain't no grocery stores. That's hard.
I was saying, like, you have to fight demons. I guess during the day they're fine, but like at night, that's when it's like, oh, okay. So they probably sleep during the day, try to eat and whatever.
Or they might just be used to being up all day. No, but they might just be used to being up 24 hours. I mean, if you got total concentrated breathing, it wouldn't be impossible. Like, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, think about that. Think about that idea. Like, hey, we just lost like 80% of the applicants. All right, well, they weren't cut out to be demon slayers. I'm sorry, maybe you didn't hear me. We just lost 80% of the children that we sent in there. Yeah, they weren't cut out to be demon slayers. Nigga, 10 kids just died. All right, so now that you're a demon slayers, now let's get us some more training. No, let's send you out on missions. Okay, but and here's the thing that really makes no sense to me. So you got the pillars. The pillars are supposed to take on apprentices.
Yeah.
What pillar has an apprentice?
Shinobu.
The weakest pillar is the only one who is doing her duty of training people until we get to the end of the series, and then they say, you know what we should do? We should train these people to see which of them actually can show a mark. It's like, did any of them show a mark? Well, no. But at least they got training. Wait, you weren't training them before? Well, experience is better than training.
You know what I thought about too? Like, I don't think there really is a level system to the missions. I think there is, but like, you can. There's not a level system upper moon for the missions at any point.
But it's not a level system for the missions. It's more so for the rank. But then the rankings kind of didn't make sense either, because it's like either you're a part of the main trio or you're the pillars. Like, you don't. Outside of that, you don't. You either the main trio, the pillars, or somebody that the pillars like. Or I mean, not even say the pillars. Someone that Shinobu likes. So, you know what I mean? Like when and that's what I'm saying. When it came out in Demon Slayer, once I started looking at things and thinking about things, I was like, this doesn't really make any sense. You know, like, because, you know, like with the hero system in My Hero, you go through classes, you become a hero. You can't become a hero right off the bat. Once you graduate high school, but more than likely you have to work your way up in an agency. So it's not like, or at least in a normal standing, you wouldn't be somebody who was like coming out of high school, and then Endeavor is like, all right, you coming with me to go take on this super dangerous villain. It's like, all right, you and what was the chick with the green hair? I loved her energy.
Green hair?
You know what I'm talking about? The one that was working with Endeavor had that green hair. She was like, she was like really energetic.
Kind of like snakish looking.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. All right, you join my agency. I'm not dealing with you. Go work with her. Or for Night Eye, if you had to join Night Eye, you would work with like the bubble black chick that he was tickling that people got offended by.
God, that was hilarious.
No, baby Manuel. How the fuck I remember Manuel, but I can't remember two chicks' names. I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of mad about that now. You know what I mean? Like, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you start out on the ground and you move up. Oh god.
But I'll say with My Hero though, like, My Hero has the luxury of taking place in modern times where they have the type of like system work. Versus Demon Slayer, I don't know exactly which era it takes place in.
Taisho.
But I don't. Okay, but thank you.
So it's like after the Industrial Revolution, before. I think there's after World War I, before World War II.
Okay. Really? I thought it actually been a bit more like earlier, I guess, in history.
No, that's why they got trains.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, like 1900s sometime.
But even then, I'm like, you really didn't have like a really good system, during that time.
And it's an old system. It's not new. They've been fighting Muzan for a while. So you telling me that like 100 years y'all were losing to Upper Moons, and y'all were just like, well, we'll just keep trying.
Hope for the best. Because I remember when the leader, I wish I could remember his name, but the leader was like, oh my god, this is the first time an Upper Moon's been killed in over 100 years. So they literally just been Demon Slayers.
Kaguya Yabushiki? Ubuyashiki?
Okay. Because I remember, like, I kept thinking, so they ready to just do Demon Slayers at them until one has managed to get lucky and kill one of the Upper Moons.
I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. And even the whole pillar system thing is weird. It's like, kill 50 demons. It might be 100. I think it's 50. I think you told me it was 50. But yeah, it's like, kill 50 demons or kill a lower moon. Like,
God, man. Like,
where's the training process?
I feel like it's like, the more I feel like being a Demon Slayer sucks.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, shit don't make no sense. So you're telling me that, first of all, the pillars are ignoring people, and they're getting mad. Oh wow, the Demon Slayer Corps is really going down in quality. It's like, okay, but who are you helping? Oh, I'm helping me. It's like, but where is, nobody stands out to you? So where you want to help somebody?
Because now I think about it, like, with the Survey Corps, at least with them, like, they tried to come up with plans to lower the casualty rate as much as possible. Not really the same with the Demon Slayer Corps.
Like, why is the strongest Demon Slayer training the one nigga that can't use breathing styles?
Well, his brother wasn't gonna do it.
What is so special about this nigga that y'all are like, we're gonna ignore people with breathing styles, and we're gonna help this one dude?
Wait, hold up. He does have a special ability. He can acquire demons' abilities.
And how? What is this nigga's stomach made out of?
Oh man! Plus, my man's smart. He has a gun, so 2 pluses.
That can't kill anything.
Nah, man. Like, if it was any other demon, he would have just one shot him.
No, he would not. It's not a Nichiren gun.
It is a Nichiren gun. It is.
Oh, it is. The bullets were, or was it?
The bullets.
Okay, cool. I forgot about that fact for a second. But yeah,
I think he also had like a small like blade to go with it. So he does have a blade. And stuff, so.
A blade that don't mean shit. But yeah, so. But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like nobody thought. Like the only two pillars that actually hang around each other is only because one of them's horny and the other one doesn't care.
Who's the horny one?
Igoro, the snake guy.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to ask.
he just had to watch them titties jiggle. Then Mitsuri's just like, life is so precious. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like the shit don't make sense. You know what I mean? So it's like, so when I actually stopped and thought about that, I was like, that doesn't. So y'all thought it was a good idea to never train people? Like Rengoku saw all these other demon slayers dying left and right, and he was just like, "Are you the main character? Yeah, you have plot armor. I like it."
Oh man, but also you gotta kind of think like, do the demon slayers want to be trained under these people?
They're pillars. They respect them deeply.
And what if like they're just not worthy?
You remember that? Remember that trash guy that was that Shinobu saved that was stuck inside the cocoon thing in the mountain arc?
Yeah.
Don't you remember how like much he was gushing over the pillars?
Yeah.
Yeah, they respect him. Also, do you know that guy came out the same I guess class, the same group that Giyu came out of?
Really?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like in my mind, I feel like you just like called every demon slayer that's not a main character a trash can.
Is he not? Is that not the case?
I mean, I'm trying to. God, I'm trying to find the lie, but I can't find it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like this is a flaw, and it's a bit different. And it's a bit different from, let's say, Black Clover with the Magic Knights, right? Because for that place, it's all about natural ability. What can you do? You know, like either you got it or you don't. So you might be a bit intuitive. You might be a bit crafty. Or your magic might just be ridiculously strong. And, you know, like Jack. You know, like Jack has a very simplistic magic. Just the main fact that he can adapt to other people's magics makes his magic pretty damn powerful. So, you know, it's like, but that is a very much, you're either born with it or you're not type of world. That's not really the case for Demon Slayer, because you train to become a Demon Slayer. But instead of getting more training, they just think it's like, well, we'll let them get experience. What if they die? Well, who's going to sue us? You know what I mean? So that's why when I looked at the story, I was just like, okay, some of this doesn't really make sense, but whatever. Cool fights, go.
Okay, this is my last like dislike, and then after I'm gonna go towards another thing that I like about the series, and this is like a little nitpick for me. But when Rengoku died, I feel like Inosuke completely ruined the moment for me. Like it would start off super sad and everything, and then he just completely took me out of it.
I don't know, man.
Like, this is way too over the top.
I don't know, man. Tanjiro was starting to ruin it for me. You're the coward.
Really, God 5.
You're the coward. Like, you're running away. Rengoku won. It's like, no, he definitely did not.
See, I want to see. Wait, hold on. I'm talking about when he actually died.
I'm with supporting the homie, but I ain't about to commit suicide to get this dub. Like, he about to commit suicide to brag. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave with some class.
I mean, okay, no. I mean, I get that, but like when Rengoku actually did die, and then like Tanjiro, he's breathing. You know, it's like, dang man, like as hard as I tried to go over this hill, I still I'm nowhere close to this. And I'm like, okay, this is like a really sad moment. And I've been cool if if Inosuke or Zenitsu try to lift him back up, but I feel like Inosuke just did too much. Was it in character? Yeah, but did it have to be that over the top? No. Like, he still could have got his point across and picked Tanjiro up without having to ruin the moment.
And you know what would have made sure that he didn't ruin the moment? If Rengoku didn't die. I'm sorry, bro. That reverse order is just killing me, dog. So you telling me that the way we gonna introduce the pillars, introduce 2 of them, introduce 1, kill him, introduce another one, cripple him, introduce 2 more, let's give him a power up, and let them survive.
Hey, bro, what you want him to do? You want him to kill one, cripple the other, within the same arc?
I'm just saying, man, and it's like I can see if going from Upper Moon 3 to going to Upper Moon 6 had a much less difficult fight. Like if it was just Daki, right? If Daki was Upper Moon 6, then I would understand why you would have needed that strong impression from Akaza. But since Gyutaro carried that fight so well, it was just like, so the Akaza thing was kind of unnecessary.
Well, not necessarily. I feel like it was there because you gotta remember, during that fight, Akaza wasn't taking Rengoku seriously. He wanted Rengoku to join him, so he was at no point, like, I don't think he was trying. At least if he was, he's probably maybe going like 50%, 60% at the most.
No, I think he was going full blast. I don't think, like, he was cool until Rengoku got to actually, like, hurt his neck. But, you know, at that point, he was dodging to make sure he didn't get... Like, I think he took Rengoku seriously, because he even, like, if he didn't, he wouldn't have complimented Rengoku. So I think once he, like, saw, like, okay, you are good. Like, hey... why don't you become a demon? Even once he got some hits in Rengoku, he was just like, listen, you're really good.
Okay,
So
he did take him seriously, but I think at no point he thought he was in any major danger. I don't think he thought he was in major danger.
I mean, would you?
I mean, if I was up in Moon 3.
I don't know. I mean, once that blade hit my neck, I would have been like, oh shit. He was kind of like that was that blade touched that neck.
Towards the end, he was still trying to recruit him, so I feel like, you know, he was taking him seriously.
Hey, that was until that blade touched that neck. That blade touched that neck.
All
that condoms was out the way. It was like, oh nah, nigga, you got to get the fuck up off of me. It's like, I thought you wanted to get close. Nah, son, I wanted you to join the team.
But isn't that more of a testament to his power? At the moment he got serious, Rengoku pretty much was dead. The moment he got super serious.
I mean, possibly.
Turn him into a donut.
It's just... I just felt like when it came to Demon Slayer, especially with how interesting they do the fights, you know, they could have done it. They could have organized it a bit better. You know what I mean? But
not saying we're ending things, but like kind of like towards the end, I at least want to try and end it on a more good note for the show. One thing I do like, minus the Rengoku moment, like I said, that moment kind of got ruined for me. But most of the time, like when Demon Slayer like have its emotional moments, they hit really good. Like in season 3 with Nezuko at the end, like it got me a little bit. Like Tanjiro got me on that one. I was like, gosh. Cause that's such a hard choice in that moment. He wants to save his sister, but he knows as a Demon Slayer, he has a duty to these people to save them too. So he was caught in a rock and a hard place, in a possible choice. I feel like in the end, I think he could have gone to Nezuko, and I think that's when Nezuko, pushed him for like, hey, do your duty. You're a Demon Slayer. Do your job. And in that moment, I was like, oh, could be dead.
I mean, I really like that part.
I saw that she survived the sun. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I thought when you had that part, I thought you were done. But I don't know. I think when it comes to that part, this is where I feel like the ending kind of just, like when I went back and reread it from beginning to end, right? Mm-hmm. Like I finished the story. I was just like, okay, that was pretty cool. Then I waited about, I think like a month or two. And then I reread the whole thing. I did the same thing for Dr. Stone too. And I was just like, I might have to drop this a couple points. Cause I gave, like, when it initially ended, I gave Demon Slayer like a 7. I was like, all right, that was, some things were kind of BS, you know, even more so than like than usual. but whatever. This is funny. I remember somebody was just like, "Oh yeah, for with Black Clover, we gotta investigate why they keep doing these flashbacks and the power ups." And I was just like, "Okay, well, there might be a reason why Demon Slayer Arthur and, and Black Clover's Arthur are friends, because Demon Slayer does kind of the same thing. It's like, Tanjiro, you're about to die. Oh, I remember my dad doing these dances. Right, Dance of the Fire God. Oh no, my foot hurts." Should I get Dr. Scholl's? No, wait. Let me remember what Zenitsu told me.
Oh my god. But earlier, the last point I was gonna make was just like, Tanjiro thinking Nezuko was killed, died from the sun, and then when we saw her again, like she's survived the sun. And I felt that like same relief that Tanjiro felt. In that moment, I didn't like try to overthink it. I just enjoyed the moment for what it was, and it was such a beautiful moment. And I think like reading it and watching it, I still think will always be two different things. Like you can read it and you might get the same emotion as when you watch it. But when
I read it, it was pretty emotional. Music, I thought it was really good.
Okay.
Until later,
like even still, it would like hit different watching it with the music and like the voice acting. It was like, oh man.
I've seen the scene, so I think the scene looked great, but I don't know. It's like, and maybe I should leave that alone. It's kind of spoiler, but it's like for me when it comes down to some of these things, it's like either the plot point is unresolved or the plot point has no substance to it, and for me that's what can mess up a story, because it's like the journey of these plot points should be something to give you a lot of feeling, and it's like when you look back on the character and their journey, it should be moments that really help you to be like, okay, wow, this is where you grew, this is where you learned this lesson, or this is where you improved here and stuff like that. And I don't mind if it's a character that we know, like a character that we can see them doing things, what I'm saying, like for example, from Black Clover, like is a very much a he's a character that you really have to like take a little bit to appreciate, because he shows a lot of different facets of himself versus saying them. He doesn't talk much, but for what you see is a bit different than what you get. Like seeing him be super competitive sometimes, seeing him be a little bit, like a little bit jealous sometimes when it comes like Leopold calls Asta his rival. He's like, okay, all right, you little shit, that's my boy, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? I grew up from the cradle with him, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and then when you go on to see like, oh wow, showing some great leadership skills. Oh wow, is actually getting along with the Golden Dawn. He's just not moving up. He's actually getting along with these people. Oh no, these people have died, and now it's like, okay, you kill my people, I'm coming back for blood. It's like, nah, I ain't coming back I ain't knocking you out. I ain't throwing you into a building. You about to die. And I'm about to do it and drop some cold lines on you while I do it. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that like gradually builds up and stuff. But then there's some characters in Demon Slayer, once you get to the end, it's just kind of like, how did we get here? It's like, oh, this happened. When? It just happened. Okay, never mind.
Well, that's why, like, I'm still gonna have like hope, like, the anime will still do things justice, still like kind of like flesh out certain things and still help you like make you feel certain things as well. I still hold out hope that I think the anime will still continue to do that.
I don't know, man. Animes
you never know. It might surprise you.
they've been pretty 1-to-1 outside of obviously outside of extending fights. They've been pretty 1-to-1, especially Demon Slayer. Like Demon Slayer has been very much, 1-to-1 with the series. They might take out like something unnecessary, or they might add in something unnecessary. I mean, obviously, like the Inosuke scene that you hate so much, obviously that was exaggerated. Because in the manga it's like, okay, page turn page, that's over. But for the scene itself, when Inosuke's doing all that yelling, it's like what they were zooming out, so you could see like the whole train and stuff like that. And see some of the Demon Slayer helpers. What are they called? The Kakashi, Kaku, that's Kakashi. The Kaku something. They do have the mask, but so it's like, but that's about it though,
All right. Before I ask this question real quick, because is there any like nice thing you want to say about Demon Slayer just to kind of cap this section off? Anything nice?
I mean, I feel like I give Demon Slayer some props as I talked about it, so I don't think I've just been completely negative.
I don't know, man. I feel like I can't remember.
Listen, who would you rather have speaking about this right now, me or Brandy? And to give you some context, Brandy would go harder on Demon Slayer than she does on Deku.
Really? Okay, my fair point. Got to choose the better two evils, I guess.
Yeah, calling me Hillary, but
Oh my god. But, okay, last question for you before we close this off is like, out of all the breathing forms, which one is your favorite?
I don't know. That's actually a good question. Maybe flame style, flame breathing or whatever.
Okay.
I just think the techniques itself is like cool. And I always like flame based stuff. So between flame and actually I take that back. 'Cause I think the only reason sound breathing is so cool is because Tengen swords are super cool. So probably flame breathing.
Okay, let's see. I think my favorite breathing style is, and you might sound biased because I'm a huge Shinobu fan, but I'll say insect breathing. Mainly because it's one of the more unique styles. Like at the end of the day, like the goal to Demon Slayer is to cut off the demon's head, whereas Shinobu, she can't do that. So I like the fact that she has a different approach to taking on demons, where hers is poison. And I think that's a really slept on thing. Like one poke and dead. So I'm like, and also I think the form just looks absolutely stunning. Like it looks so crisp and beautiful.
Oh, you mean from the special effects?
That are definitely real.
Press pause. I just thought you remember Makimo? Remember when Tanjiro was doing that training to break that stone?
You talking about one of his one of the spirits that was like watching over him?
Remember the little girl?
Yeah.
How? So was she strong enough to cut off a demon's head?
I think so, actually.
So how is Shinobu not strong? What's the point of a power that can strengthen your body if it still doesn't help you?
Jesus Christ, man! I'm trying to end this thing on a good note. Like, goddamn.
I'm sorry. I just thought about that though. I've never actually stopped and thought about it. I was just like, hold up.
Some people are just
how weak does Shinobu have to be to where even with superhuman strength, she still has Achilles? It's like what? Like imagine if Gohan goes Super Saiyan and he couldn't kill the Cell Juniors.
Oh my God.
Like I'm sorry, Super Saiyan. Well, yeah. No, imagine Goku going Super Saiyan. He still couldn't punch Frieza. It's like, now I'm a Super Saiyan. Eat my Super Saiyan punch. And he has to hit. Oh, he has to pit a girlfriend. Ah.
Well, you know, if Shinobu like it was already like doesn't have strength, even if she did get like a boost, wouldn't she just have like the strength of just a regular person at that point?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is she that weak? Does nobody ever tell her to do some push-ups?
Well, I mean, granted, she doesn't need to, but she has one of the best breathing styles.
Nobody ever say, Shinobu, let's get fuck this rice, let's eat this steak.
But come on, bro. Like the fact that like she has that handicap and still a Hashira, like that's a more testament to her.
I mean, I appreciate her ingenuity. I appreciate the ingenuity to find the style that to find a way to circumvent it. But it's just thinking on it. You know what I mean? Like she could blow up a gourd through her mouth, huh? But she.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That's not YouTube. My thought was not YouTube. We ain't monetized. But what if she blow you out? Oh boy, I'll tell her to suck. Don't blow in. Don't blow out though. Blow your junk away. Now you.
But
now you're gonna need the breath of reproduction.
Oh my god! But overall, with Demon Slayer, even with some of the things I dislike, I still think overall it's a good series. It's done a lot for the community. It's a great gateway for like people who wants to come in. And I also think it's good for like veterans. Let's just sit back and just enjoy a show. They doesn't have too much think about too much, and just enjoy a nice show. So I think I'll give Demon Slayer, like as right now where I'm at, I'll say a 7.5, close to an 8. I might lean towards the 8s. I might have to sleep on them, but around that bubble for right now. It could go lower and go upper.
I ain't gonna lie though. I think the first time I heard you ever complain about the series when you didn't like the fact Tanjiro moved off that broken foot.
That was a bit much for me. I'm like, because they really showed it, like his foot getting fucked up and he's able to run on it. Granted, you know, adrenaline is a hell of a thing. I understand that, but at least give him like a little bit of a limp. Well, I guess he limped afterwards.
Nah, I'm sorry. when me and Brandy watched that, and she saw Tanjiro in that tree, she was like, "Where the fuck did this tree come from?" And low key, I was trying not to say anything, but I was like, "Nah, look, where did that come from?" Because they fell straight down. And I didn't see him bounce or nothing. Like, so how did he get in that tree? I was legit like, man, stop hating on the show. But then I was just like, okay, hold up, wait, that's actually a good question. Where did the tree come from? Like, it was nothing but open field, and then it was nothing but trees. So like the whole thing with Nezuko, I was like, bitch, run to the tree. They not that far.
Wow. Actually, I was thought about it. Wow, that is like the first time I was taken back. I'm like, oh, all right, I don't know about this one, Chief. Oh, the shit that happened, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I was with it on why was Tanjiro just thinking about, Zenitsu and this, and I was scared, Zenitsu, and then he was just able to like do the thunder breathing style, like, because actually I saw that on RDC World. They had a back and forth thing. And one guy he had a huge problem with that. Like, I was more so just like whatever, because I mean technically if you're gonna have a problem with the thunder breathing style thing, then you kind of gotta have a problem with the whole Breath of the Sun thing, because Tanjiro watched his dad do these dances. He ain't never doing himself.
And my thing is, since like sun breathing is like, you know, the form where all the other forms came from, it's not too crazy to think like Tanjiro can do other forms. If you can master sun breathing, you can pretty much do every other form or close to it. Maybe not being a master at it, but you can get the basics down where you can do a little bit. So I don't think it's that insane. But like, so
for me, the only thing I don't really care
as a
about
whole,
it.
though.
Oh, sorry. No, just scratch that comment. I don't know. After I went back and reread it, and I mean, for the anime, if they make the changes, maybe it'll increase my rating. Honestly, I got it at a 5.
Damn.
Just the missed plot points. Because people think the only issue with the final arc is the last piece. But when you actually go back and think on that arc, a lot of stuff didn't make sense. So, it's like that plus some of the parts that were skipped, I just had to kind of be like, yeah, this would have been good to see, but no, that burp came at the wrong time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 8 for me, 5 for you. So pretty much Demon Slayer is just like the true definition of mid for you.
And it's not even like I want it to be. I mean, obviously nobody wants the story to be bad, but it's just for what I had to be given, Like, characters dying is not gonna make me like a story more. Stakes don't boost the story up for me.
Huh. I mean, don't you need stakes in the story to push it forward a bit?
Nigga, I watch One Piece. The fuck you talking about? We both watch Fairy Tail.
Well, even though shows have stakes too now, you can't sit here and say One Piece doesn't have stakes in the story. It does have stakes.
Okay.
Overarching stakes.
How long it took to get to him?
Well, granted, how long One Piece is.
Yeah, so we went.
They can't hit some mistakes right away.
It took 10 years to get to 2 deaths. And if I can hold out for 10 years with all types of fake outs and stuff like that, then I'm pretty sure I can be content with actually enjoying a good written death. So yeah, when it comes down to that stuff, you know me, it's like, and I'm also a fan of Bleach. Man, Bleach didn't kill nobody until the end of the series. That's 12 years. People surviving horrible things. People getting Rengoku and surviving, and so yeah, I put a lot more value into story than just somebody might die. Oh no.
But I don't know. I think I guess we can talk more about that one of these days. Have another conversation on it. My only thing I'll say on that is character deaths in a story does help it. It does help with the story. Now, you know how me, huge Game of Thrones fan, the death that happened in season 1 really propelled the show and the characters and everything. It pushed everything forward. So do you need characters to die in a story for it to be good? No. Can it help when done right? Absolutely.
And a lot of those weren't.
But this kind of depends on the situation.
Like Rengoku's death as a death is a good execution, but it does make his character now a bit devalued, especially with the Demon Slayer marks, because it's like you're telling me you're fighting Demon Slayer, Upper Moon 3, and your adrenaline isn't pumping enough, your emotions aren't pumping enough to where the Demon Slayer mark occurs for him, but it can for Mitsuri and Tokito, one who is definitely weaker than him, and another one who is possibly weaker than him. Similar thing for Tengen. Where the only difference between those two and Tokito and Mitsuri is just the fact that Tokito and Mitsuri didn't have as heavy as injuries.
Hey man, Rengoku he wasn't lucky. He wasn't the chosen one, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying though. It's like I would have much rather have had Rengoku's character than have his death. Ooh, that's a bar. I like that one.
I like that too, actually. But you know what? I'm gonna try to actually end this on a good note. In my opinion, I do think Demon Slayer, it should be something that everyone should add to their list eventually. Like I said, if you're new to the anime genre, definitely pick it up. Even if you're a veteran in the game, this has to be a nice watch for you as well. Like I said earlier, so I think overall, it does certain things well. Even it missed up some things, but does things also really well too. So I think it would be a good watch for you, regardless of where you are on the spectrum. So I definitely say give it a shot, voice your own opinions, and what you think of the show, the characters, the villain.
Oh, I got a good thing to say about Demon Slayer. I like Khan.
Go ahead and say it. Okay, that's something. Thank you. You gave me something.
Actually, I like all of Shinobu's little hit squad. I like all of them, especially the triplets.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you finally. I don't know, it took you a minute. But is there any remarks you want to say before we wrap things up?
Remember, everybody, believe in oxygen. The power of oxygen is strong. It can create elements. Ooh.
Yes.
Which technically isn't wrong.
And believe in anime powers. You too can control the elements with your sword. Oh man, this. I don't think Demon Slayer has like a little motto, does it? Does it have like a little, like, plus
I mean, there's the thing from Rengoku with "Set Your Heart Ablaze." So if you can work that into something.
Well, remember everyone, whenever you're feeling that you are not enough, set your heart ablaze. Nailed it.
And be sure to sniff your problems out. And if you can't sniff out your problems, or if you ever stuck in a situation where you're beaten up badly and bleeding out profusely, just always remember to wash your ass.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Flashy, I know you know me. The way you look at me, I'm here to save you. I know you love me. My moves are flashy, my looks are flashy. Know it makes you happy.